Welcome to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Love Ann Season reporting from London. We bring you news reports from the United Kingdom and Europe. We have live reporters on standby and ready to give their reports. Now here's the news roundup. A UN climate report reveals a stark warning about human activity. President Macron states the escalating COVID-19 infections in French overseas territories in the Caribbean shows the health crisis is very clearly not behind us. Now joining today from the UK Bureau is Arian Celestino. Arian?
Hi, Lovan. Today I'll be reporting about Royal piano restorer David Winston, who sells his entire collection of 25 quirk and rare pianos. Some of his work has included pianos belonging to Queen Elizabeth II herself and Ludwig van Beethoven's Broadwood piano. Back to you.
Now from our correspondent in France, Febeline Calpo takes us on a ferry boat trip to enjoy the sights and views of Marseille. For EBC Spain, correspondent Beverly Madrid shows us how cats are loved in Barcelona as they celebrate International Cat Day. For the weekly sports update in the UK, here is Ryan Florentino. Hi, Ryan.
Good day, Lovan. Today I'll be reporting on Team GB's Galal Yafai winning gold in Olympic boxing, and after that, football with Chelsea defeating Villarreal for the UEFA Super Cup. Back to you.
Thank you. Now, in our final segment, View from Our Window, we take a look at Stolberg Castle in Germany. Britain on Mondays called for urgent global action to tackle climate change after a UN report warned the planet has warmed more than previously estimated. The host of the COP26 summit in November said conclusions that a 1.5 Celsius temperature goal would likely be breached around 2030 was a stark warning that human activity is damaging the planet at an alarming rate. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said the report makes for a sobering reading and that it is clear that the next decade is going to be pivotal for securing the future of our planet. Now, to see just how climate change is affecting the planet and its inhabitants, let's take a look at this report.
Have we lost the hope? No and yes. According to this report, we are still having a chance to stop the negative climate trend during the mid of this century by especially limiting the use of fossil fuels and by stopping deforestation.
French President Emmanuel Macron said this week that the health crisis is very clearly not behind us. He made the statement after the escalating COVID-19 infections in French overseas territories in the Caribbean, where vaccination rates remain low. French overseas territories in the Caribbean, such as Martinique and Guadeloupe, are seeing a surge in virus cases and hospitalizations. In Guadeloupe alone, it was reported on Tuesday that they were seeing 1,700 cases for 100,000 inhabitants. Highlighting the low vaccination rate of 20% of people aged more than 12 in these territories, President Macron emphasized that the dramatic situation in these places is a cruel proof that vaccination is the best response to the faster spreading Delta variant. Currently in the mainland France, 66% of people over the age of 12 are fully vaccinated. The country is facing a fourth wave of the pandemic with a rising number of daily cases. An average of more than 22,000 cases were reported on Monday, showing an increase of close to 5% over the past 7 days. And on Wednesday, there was an average of 755 new hospitalizations, which is an increase of close to 20% over the past 7 days. Effective August 9, a health pass is required for certain places and events, including cafes, restaurants, hospitals, museums, and even long-distance trips by train. Street protests have been taking place in the recent weeks over the health pass requirement, but the authorities remain determined that vaccination is the only way forward. Time for a break. Please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition.
In good shape. Do's and don'ts that will help you stay fit for the rest of your life. We answer the question, what do our bodies really need? In good shape.
Hey there, Arnie Aquino here at Galal Castle, one of the filming locations for the X-Men series. Don't forget to tune in to Digital Nest only on Net25.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Love Ann Season. Interesting stories now from around the UK and Europe this week. A rare collection of pianos go for sale in the UK. Arian Celestine is with us today with this story. Hello, Arian.
Hi, Lovan. And yes, there's little to distinguish the farm building in Kent, southeast England, from others nearby, except for one thing, the royal warrant over the door. By appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, conservators and restorers of pianos, it reads. Inside the building in Biddenden, near Ashford, is a treasure trove of 26 quirky and rare pianos, amassed over a lifetime by Californian David Winston. Winston's entire collection is now being sold off at auction, with estimates that some individual instruments could go for up to £60,000 each. David has more to say about why he has decided to sell these ancient but unique instruments. Let's listen in.
I've decided to sell 25 instruments altogether, which is, the culmination of a lifetime's collecting, learning about instruments, getting to know the instruments, understanding what they're all about, trying to find instruments that are representative of all different times and cultures. I'm nearly 71 years old. My feeling is that with beautiful objects, you're never anything other than the caretaker of these wonderful things, and you have to be generous spirited and realize when it's time to pass them on to other people. for other people to enjoy them and become a part of their history. And it's just the right moment in my life.
Some of his work has included on pianos belongings to Queen Elizabeth II herself, but he's cagey about the work he did on the Royal Collection's keyboards. What he does say is that other major commissions have included restoring the French Pleyel piano belonging to his great hero, Frédéric Chopin. He also worked on Ludwig van Beethoven's Broadwood piano at the Hungarian National Museum. He recalled that when he first walked into that room and the piano was sitting there with Beethoven's name on it, the hair on the back of his neck just stood up. The most striking feature is that it has 5 pedals, while modern piano have 3. The extra ones produce a drum and bell sound effect or a bassoon like rasp, perfect for the martial music fashionable at the time. The collection does not just focus on antique period instruments, but includes instruments designed for 20th century lifestyles. Lovan.
Thank you, Ariane. So, did Winston have any difficulties in preparing or restoring the instruments before selling them?
Yes, he had some challenges as restoring pianos is becoming tough physically, he said. It's getting harder on my body, bending over all the time and lifting stuff and crawling underneath pianos. Sometimes I just feel like a car mechanic. Back to you, Lovan.
Thank you. So what does he plan to do after he sells the pianos?
Well, Lovan, first of all, after the sale, Winston plans to spend more time at this flat in Venice, where he is a member of a rowing club, as well as focusing on photography. Lovan?
Thank you for bringing us this interesting story, Ariane. So hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me today. Reporting from the United Kingdom, I am Ariane Celestino, and we live in interesting times.
We now get to take the ferry boat in Marseille to enjoy the sights and views of this French Mediterranean city. Febelin Calpo has this report. Let's watch.
Since summer is up, let's smell the sea and feel the sky as we are going to take the ferry boat, which is one of the things that you will surely enjoy here in Marseille, France. The ferry boat is a maritime passenger transport line in Marseille and is said to be the smallest maritime crossing in the world. It allows to cross the Vieux Port from the Quai du Port to the Quai de Rive Neuve. This particularity and many others have made it unique in the eyes of the Marseillais. Furthermore, while waiting for the boat, tourists can enjoy watching some performances here in Vieux-Port. Every year in the spring, the maritime shuttles resume their rotations for the summer period between the Old Port and the Pointe Rouge, or between the Old Port and L'Estaque. And for today, we are going to ride the ferry boat to go to L'Estaque. As soon as you step out from the ferry boat, this small village's location will captivate the heart of the tourist, as it is worth taking a walk up the hill from the waterfront to see some very interesting villas and many more with the view of the sea. Let's now move on to our next destination, which is the Pointe Rouge Beach. The sandy beach of Marseille is one of the most secluded and therefore most often visited by families sunbathing with children. It is located near a small port where you can rent a sailboat, diving equipment, or take a canoe walk. Therefore, this kind of transportation remains dear to the hearts of the people of Marseille and also tourists, and is even part of the city's heritage. Marseille's residents and tourists alike are very enthusiastic about this unique and pleasant means of transportation to discover the area and its coastline. I am Febelin Calpo for Eagle News International. We live in interesting times.
Thank you for that tour, Febelin. Time for a break now. Please come back for more ENI UK and Europe edition.
Innovation, digital disruption, globalization. Startups, micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as large corporations, all face interesting challenges in the market today. Peek into the world of exciting opportunities and partnerships to drive growth with the latest business news and information. We are open for business. Your weekly dose of entrepreneurial inspiration to update you on the latest developments in the world of business. Get up close and personal with CEOs and thought leaders to help you discover valuable insights, sharpen your instincts for smart decision making with the latest markets and economic trends, disruptive ideas, global innovation, social entrepreneurship, and other leading-edge business ideas. Join the conversations to create a more vibrant environment for entrepreneurship. Catch Open for Business, from vision to action.
Welcome back to ENI UK and Europe edition. I'm Love Ann Season. More interesting stories in the UK and Europe this week. Did you know that cats have their own international day? And to give us a glimpse on how cats are loved in Barcelona, Spain, here's a report by Beverly Madrid. Let's take a look.
Did you know that there is only one animal with 3 international days in its honor? Therefore, we dedicate this report to our most special pet on International Cat Day.
Cats are one of the most beloved animals in the world. They are capable of conquering people thanks not only to their intelligent character and their independence, but also to them being affectionate and fun. To honor cats, there are 3 worldwide celebrations in their name throughout the year. Thus, our feline friends have the following dates to celebrate: February 20th, August 8th, and October 29th. There are 480 million abandoned cats worldwide, more than adopted cats. For this reason, Spy the Cats, or Cat Space, the only non-profit cat cafe and adoption center in Barcelona, works and collaborates with different animal shelters in Catalonia to rescue adult cats.
Vale, pues Spy the Cats somos un cat café de Barcelona, pero sobre todo lo que somos es una asociación sin ánimo de lucro, ¿vale? Que rescatamos y damos visibilidad a gatos adultos. O sea, los ayudamos hasta que no encuentran su familia. Y, o sea, están temporalmente aquí y los cuidamos, nos hacemos cargo de los gastos veterinarios hasta que son adoptados. Entonces surgió la idea de que fuera cafetería porque es una forma de autogestionar el proyecto y poder obtener recursos para los gatos.
Spy the Cats has the objective of finding families for cats and, above all, raising awareness of their needs and making the needs of the cats visible.
Hasta ahora llevamos 174 gatos a los que hemos encontrado familia. Intentar sobrevivir y seguir adelante con nuestro proyecto para ayudar a más gatos y sobre todo pues dar a conocer las necesidades y la forma de vivir de un gato para evitar entonces pues abandonos y que la gente que los adopte pues sea conscientemente y de forma responsable, y ojalá en un futuro pues no tengamos que existir asociaciones como Stray Gats o como cualquier otra protectora, pues porque no hay abandonos.
So to celebrate International Cat Day, let's do something for our feline friends by adopting a cat from your local shelter or cat rescue center. It doesn't matter if it's a kitten or an adult cat. It needs your love and affection. You can also volunteer at your local shelter. You can buy your cat a new toy. They will surely thank you with lots of purring love and cuddles. Brush their excess fur and hair balls, or simply petting and cuddling with them.
We hope you enjoyed this video. From Barcelona, Spain, I'm Beverly Madrid. We live in interesting times.
Thank you for this story, Beverly. To give us our weekly sports update, here's Ryan Florentino. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Van. For Britain's Galal Yafai said that he will enjoy light-hearted bragging rights over his boxing brothers after defeating Carlo Paalam to win flyweight Olympic gold on Saturday. The 28-year-old Yafai, a former car factory worker, won on split points in an enthralling contest against the Filipino representative to earn Britain's first boxing gold in Tokyo. Yafai's older brothers, Carl and Gamal, are both established professionals, but neither won a games medal, never mind a gold one. To be fair, we are normally supportive of each other and not argumentative, said the new champion. I might do it once or twice in the future, but only on the joking side. Yafai said that this will be the end of him as an Olympian, as he eyes a professional career and wants to be a world champion one day. But for now, he is savoring games gold, a far cry from the days when he was picking up rubbish on the floor of a car factory as recent as 2015. Yafai cheered on from the stands by his British teammates, many of them with the country's flag draped over their shoulders. Had Paalam down in the first round of the scheduled three after an incisive three-punch combination. Paalam, 23, was always playing catch-up after that and admitted that Yafai had my number. Despite the outcome, both boxers presented respect for one another, seeing how both rose from similar places. Another gold for Team GB. And moving on to football. Kepa Arrizabalaga was the unlikely hero as Chelsea started the new season, ending the last with a European trophy by beating Villarreal 6-5 on penalties after a 1-1 draw to win the UEFA Super Cup in Belfast. The Spaniard, who has lost his place as number one since joining the club for a world record fee for a goalkeeper in 2018, was introduced late in extra time as a substitute for the shootout by Thomas Tuchel. But this time he was rewarded his manager's faith with saves from Aissa Mandi and Raul Albiol. Kepa has the best percentage at saving penalties. The analyzing guys and goalkeeping coaches showed me the data. We spoke to the players that this could happen when we play in knockout games. It's fantastic how Edouard Mendy accepted it. Euro 2020 finalists Mason Mount, Ben Chilwell, Reece James and Jorginho all had to settle for a place on the bench after their late return to pre-season training. But Chelsea still had far too much for the Europa League winners in the opening half hour. Hakim Ziyech had a bittersweet evening as he continued his fine pre-season form into competitive action with the opening goal. After an overly cautious start from Unai Emery's men, going behind forced the Yellow Submarine out of their shell, and they were unfortunate, not to be level by halftime. Villarreal were the dominant force in the second half as Chelsea physically faded after their flying start. Tuchel turned to his bench to turn the tide as Mount, Jorginho and Christensen were introduced. But the Spaniards finally got their deserved equalizer when Moreno played a clever 1-2 with Dia before firing high past Mendy. Neither manager would have welcomed an extra 30 minutes just days before their respective league campaigns kick off. Chelsea had the better of extra time as Christian Pulisic fired inches wide before Sergio Asenio produced a fine save to deny Mount. Villarreal had a dream start to the shootout by saving from Havertz, but Chelsea were flawless with their next 6 kicks to allow Kepa to take center stage. And that about does it for our sports segment, Lovan.
Thank you for your updates and looking forward to your more news from you, Ryan.
Thank you, Lovan. Reporting for ENI UK and Europe edition, I'm Ryan Florentino, and we live in interesting times.
Okay, so in today's View from Our Window, we take you to Germany for a look at Stolberg Castle. Stolberg Castle rises on a steep limestone cliff in the middle of Stolberg's old town. Stolberg is located in the Aachen city or region in North Rhine-Westphalia. It is the landmark, the cradle, and the namesake of the town. Built in the 12th century, it has throughout the years been rebuilt and then donated to the city in 1909. Today, the Stolberg Castle serves as a venue for cultural events and an accommodation for various associations. This view is courtesy of Eva Marie Kraus from our EBC Germany Bureau. Thanks for sharing this, Eva Marie. That's it for today's program. Stay safe and keep positive as we bring you more stories next week from the United Kingdom and Europe. I'm Love Ann Season, and we live in interesting times.
Factual.
We have to defeat the virus everywhere.
Timely information. Balanced, not only in the country, but also abroad.
I'm certain of one thing.
Interviews that people need to know. Watch Agila Pilipinas. A 1-hour newscast of reports coming from regional hubs in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Know the important updates in Asia in ASEAN in Focus. Track the latest